Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be sharing with you this amazing entry setups where you can get above 90% win rate, where you can combine your trend lines together with support and resistance zones, also paying attention to top-down analysis and other things to get very high winning probability setups. So if you look at this trade here, you're going to realize that price has been rejecting in this support for a while on this resistance, and has just broke through with a high momentum, and most often price will come back to retest this support zone, which has now turned from a resistance to a support, and most often you see that price is going to head higher and will give us very good win rate or good trading setup where we can catch a very big move like that with a very small lots, right? So I'm going to be sharing with you these things in a few minutes, right? You can apply the strategy in any market, in indices, whatever you are trading. So make sure you stick till the end. Okay traders, welcome to my channel. I am Full Kingsley. By the grace of God, I bring to you guys strategies, tutorials on the forex market, volatility indices, metals like gold, Nasdaq, VIX75, many other instruments. You want to subscribe to your channel by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell to not miss out. Okay, so now to ensure that you have a high win rate, the first thing you have to pay attention to is the general trend and direction of the market, right? So you need to know what is the current trend of the market, what is the daily move of the market. Okay, now if you look at this market structure, we have a current uptrending market. Okay, now to do better, you have to go to higher time frames like the daily. You mark out, you identify the measure zones in the daily time frame. Okay, so if you look at the daily time frame, for instance, you are going to see that price is actually behaving in a particular way, and it's good when the what happens in the daily time frame actually coincide with what is happening in the smaller time frame. Okay, for instance, if you look at the daily time frame, you see we have a very strong up move, right? This is a swing that actually connotes to an uptrending market in the smaller time frame, meaning it creates higher highs and higher lows in smaller time frame. So when you see this big move, this is a significant it has significance that price is mostly going to be moving up. That's why you see what we do further is we identify what key zones like this where price has rejected more than once, twice, because price will most likely move right up to this zone here, which will be our target zones. Okay, but we take our trades based on smaller time frame. We also identify zones like this where price has rejected more than once. Okay, here when price has rejected more than once, these are zones where price turn around, turning points in the market, and you can use it to use for our targets, right? So we are going to see how important this is in smaller time frame. So with that said, we drop further to the H4 time frame. In this situation, we see clear uptrending market, and an uptrending market is nothing but simply creating higher highs and higher lows. All right, and we have given a lot of trade setups today in the Telegram channel, right? So this setups is based on this type of analysis, which we usually win most of the time. Okay, so we are going to tell you the possibility. We are also going to analyze together, and if you have not yet joined our Telegram channel, go to the link in the video's description below, and you are going to see a link to join. Also in the pinned comment, I'm going to leave the link to the channel. You just click and you join immediately, right? So if you look at what happened now, if you drop to smaller time frame, you see we have an uptrending market. Like I said earlier, uptrending market simply creating higher highs and higher lows, right? That is what we are having. And when you see that when price creates higher highs and higher lows, you see that there is a short retracement and a long impulsive move, a short retracement, long impulsive move. And if you look at our chart here, we have the same thing that's happening, right? And we can catch this impulsive move. So our aim is to wait for those retracement and catch those strong impulsive move while using our trend lines, using our support and resistance zones, or our supply and demand zone to catch as end points of those retracement to catch those big moves, right? Now if you look at the trade opportunities that we are having right now, you see that now if you drop further to the H1, you see price after creating high and pulling back, we have a very strong impulsive move, and price has pulled back. All right, this pullback denotes that price could possibly be moving up. Now if you look at it very well, you see we had a resistance zone here, which was key, a very good resistance zone. Price has rejected more than once, and what you do, we simply connect this, we simply connect the highs, right? We use our rectangle tool, and then we just connect So remember, we always make it a zone and not a single line, because it's a zone on its own. So you see now that in most cases price will hardly break through, and once price break through this zone, you come back to retest as what? A supply or a support zone. So it will be a resistance and support, because price will come back to reject. And you see now we have very strong bullish momentum that has actually caused price to break through, and you can see there, and price will most likely come back to retest. Now you can use our trend line as well. Now if you look at this from experience, I already understand that this is a diagonal resistance or diagonal support here, right? What I do, I pick my trend line, I connect as well, because remember we are waiting for those pullbacks, but we have to use some tools that will actually tell us that, okay, as price pulls back here, this is where we are going to be entering. So we should be looking to be likely entering at this point when price actually pulls back, right? So when you do like that, you extend, and that will actually plot out some zones for you, and you will actually be waiting to take trades when price gets to these particular zones, right? So now you see what happened. Price pulls back, got rejected once, right? It got rejected once, and then you extend your rectangle there, okay, and then you make sure you get these touches to be perfect, right? Now looking at it, we have a high probability trading setup there already, because we have many factors in place. We have a breakout, we have price comes back to reject the zone, and there's a high possibility now that price could actually move and move right up to this zone here. But now looking at our top down analysis, right, we have other possibilities as well, and if you catch this, we are going to get more than a 1:4 risk to reward ratio, which is very good, right? Now we have another possibility, right, given that price has created a very strong bullish move here, leaving behind imbalance that has to be filled, right? We can go to the, like for instance, you look at the H4 time frame, you see we also have a zone here which price broke through in the bigger time frame and has not yet come back to retest the zone, right? So if you look at it very well, let's go further, let's look at the daily time frame, and then you see what I'm actually saying. Now we are not taking our trades based on daily time frames, guys, but we use the information on the daily time frame to be able to determine possible zones. Now if you look at this, this is another zone which we omitted. This is another zone in which price has rejected in more than once in the daily time frame. Look at it, very good zone here, right? You see here price rejected once, twice, thrice, 4 times, and finally this is the only time in which price broke through this zone. So there is also a possibility that what price could still come back to retest this zone that was broken in the bigger time frame, like this, right? And then hit maybe right up there. So that will be a very good trading setup. Now once you have that information at the back of your mind, what do you do now? You drop further now to smaller time frame, like the H1, the 30 minutes. That's where we are going to be taking our trade setups. Now the zone is plotted out. Okay, now apart from the fact that we have this possibility of price moving up, price might have to move up. Price might move up like this, okay, and then comes back and breaks through this zone here, and then before moving to this key zone where we'll be looking for the biggest buy, right, at this time, because this is the highest probability that we have. All right, this zone is also a very strong zone here. All right, I've already explained why it is a strong zone. Now look at it very well. If you look at it at another instance, look at the smart monies, and then you want to zoom our chart out, you see that this is a supply zone, or rather a demand zone here. This is a demand zone which price has left behind, right? This is a demand zone, okay, because we have these strong bullish candles leaving behind imbalances, and we have another block here which price could still come back to test the other block and test, because normally we have this to be pulled back and they could test like that before finally moving up. So you see we have high probabilities here as well. We have a strong D1 level where price can have to come back to retest. We have liquidity below these zones here as well, and then we also have we also have a demand zone here, so price could come to tap to this zone for us to have very high probability entries, guys. Just imagine we are able to, let's say price comes back and retest this zone here, and then we enter like that, guys. We want to be targeting a highs like this. Just imagine the risk to reward ratio that we are going to get here. And if you want to consider the daily time frame, remember our total analysis or our bigger analysis, you see we can have to extend it right up to this zone here for swing traders, and how you can be able to catch very high probability entries. So that is basically how you can do your analysis and catch very high probability entries in any market, in indices, whatever you are trading, guys, because trading this market, this analysis, price action works for all market. So I started by doing going to the top, to the higher time frames, identifying the overall trend in the daily perspective, and we drop to smaller time frame. We look at the current trend, which is the H4. We have higher highs and higher lows. Now what we do, we identify our support, key support and resistance zones, right? So once we identify them, what we do now is we identify if you have diagonal support, which is also known as the trend lines, and then we are waiting for price to come back and test the zones that have been broken, to come back and retest. All right, so when we identify this zone, we have them as possibility to enter our trades, and that is how trading is approach. So never be married to any particular way. Just be ready to adapt to changes. Price can change in any moment. All right, so a trader, the role of a trader is not to win 100% of the time. I know sometimes we usually title 95%, 98%, but as a trader, you don't need to be 98% right before you make profit. You can just be 50%, but because of the use of high risk to reward ratio like this, and then you'll be able to recover when you have smaller losses, right? You'll still be able to make profit in the long run. All right, so the main thing is to adapt to changes. Price can change and we don't control the market, but if you can identify the various possibilities and take advantage, you are still going to make money. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. If the video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you are coming across this channel for the first time, by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell so they don't miss out on any video that will be posting. And also guys, make sure that you join the Telegram channel if you have not joined. The link is in the pinned comment below and in this video's description, so that you can be able to join other members who are receiving King's ID. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video.